In a small village in Israel, there lived a man named Manoah and his wife. They were kind and loved God very much. They prayed every day, asking God for a child because they had none. One day, while Manoah's wife was alone in the fields, an angel appeared to her. The angel's face shone brightly, and his voice was gentle and kind. "Do not be afraid," the angel said. "God has heard your prayers. You will have a son. He will be very special and will help save Israel from their enemies. But you must follow God's instructions. He must never cut his hair, for that is the secret of his strength." Manoah's wife was filled with joy and ran to tell her husband. They both praised God and followed his instructions carefully. Soon Manoah's wife gave birth to a baby boy. They named him Samson, which means son, because they believed he would bring light to their lives and to their people. Samson grew up strong and healthy. His parents taught him about God and told him the story of the angel's visit. They reminded him every day that he was chosen by God for a special purpose. As Samson grew older, he noticed that he was much stronger than other boys his age. One day, while playing near the fields, a lion suddenly appeared. The other boys ran away in fear, but Samson felt a strange power within him. He faced the lion and with his bare hands defeated it. The news of Samson's bravery spread quickly. People began to realize that he was no ordinary boy. They started to believe that he was the one who would protect them from their enemies, the Philistines. Samson continued to grow in strength and courage. He often went out to defend his people from the Philistines, who were always causing trouble. One time he found himself surrounded by a group of Philistine soldiers, but with his incredible strength, he fought them off and sent them running. Everyone in the village was amazed by Samson. They felt safe knowing that he was there to protect them. Samson always remembered his parents' teachings and thanked God for his strength. Samson's parents had always reminded him that his strength came from God and that he must never cut his hair. Samson understood this well and always kept his hair long, just as the angel had instructed. But Samson also had to learn that with great strength came great responsibility. He needed to use his strength wisely and always follow God's guidance. One day, Samson met a beautiful woman named Delilah. He was captivated by her beauty and kindness. They spent a lot of time together, and soon Samson fell in love with her. But Delilah was not who she seemed. The Philistine leaders saw this as an opportunity to defeat Samson. They went to Delilah and offered her a lot of money to find out the secret of Samson's strength. Delilah tried many times to get Samson to tell her the secret of his strength. She would ask him sweetly, "Samson, please tell me how you are so strong." At first, Samson did not tell her the truth. He said, "If you tie me with new ropes, I will become as weak as any other man." Delilah tried tying him with new ropes while he slept, but when he woke up, Samson easily broke free. Delilah was frustrated. "You lied to me, Samson. Please tell me the real secret." Samson loved Delilah and wanted to make her happy, but he still did not tell her the truth. He said, "If you weave my hair into a loom, I will become weak." Delilah tried this too while Samson was sleeping, but when he woke up, he pulled his hair free and was still very strong. Delilah was getting angrier. "Samson, you keep lying to me. If you love me, tell me the real secret." Samson did not want to upset Delilah, so he finally told her the truth. He said, "If my hair is cut, I will lose my strength. My hair has never been cut because it is a special gift from God." Delilah now knew the secret. That night, while Samson was sleeping, she called a man to cut his hair. As soon as his hair was cut, Samson felt his strength leave him. Delilah called out, "Samson, the Philistines are here." When Samson tried to stand up and fight, he was weak. The Philistines easily captured him, and they put him in chains. The Philistines were very happy. They took Samson away to their city. They made him work hard as a slave, grinding grain in a prison. Samson was sad and felt very sorry for what he had done. He knew he had disobeyed God. Every day, Samson prayed to God. He asked for forgiveness and for strength to do one last good thing for his people. While Samson was in prison, his hair began to grow back, little by little. But the Philistines did not notice. They thought Samson was no longer a threat. One day, the Philistines decided to have a big celebration. They gathered in their temple to thank their God for capturing Samson. They brought Samson out of prison to make fun of him and show off their victory. The temple was crowded with many Philistines, and they all laughed at Samson. Samson stood between two large pillars that held up the roof of the temple. He could hear the people mocking him. Samson prayed to God one last time. "Dear God, please remember me. Give me strength just one more time so I can defeat these enemies and save my people." God heard Samson's prayer. Samson took a deep breath and pushed with all his might against the pillars. The pillars began to crack and then broke apart. The temple's roof collapsed, and the Philistines inside were crushed. In his final act, Samson defeated many of his enemies and saved his people. Though he lost his life, his sacrifice brought freedom to his people. After Samson's death, the people of Israel remembered him as a hero. They told stories about his great strength and his bravery. They learned that true strength comes from God and that it is important to always follow God's ways. Samson's story was passed down through generations. Children learned that even when they make mistakes, God is always ready to forgive them if they ask with a sincere heart. They were inspired by Samson's courage and his faith in God. Samson's life taught everyone the importance of using their gifts for good and trusting in God's plan. His legacy lived on, reminding people of God's power and mercy. This completes the story of Samson in simple English, suitable for a 7-year-old. The narrative can be further expanded with additional details, dialogues, and events to reach a longer word count if needed.